Hi again, everyone. Welcome back to Shining Empathy. My name is Joel, and this is an unboxing. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. An unboxing video of an Oracle deck that I just got. It's going to be sort of a review in terms of I'm going to be looking at the quality of the deck, the physical quality. I'm going to be looking at the artwork. But as far as how it handles personally for me, well, it's going to take some time to tell. So, first impressions kind of review and unboxing. So, first of all, I've already actually taken it out of its delivery package. I wouldn't normally, I think, do that for an unboxing, but I got a little excited and carried away. I have been getting stuff from wordery.com lately, and I have to say, the Amazon thing is just doesn't jive with me vibrationally. I don't necessarily like what they kind of are and what they stand for anymore, who's affiliated with them. If I can't get what I need anywhere else, I will use them, but if I can outsource it to somewhere else, I will. And Wordery is just it's just got a good feel all over it. It's sort of like an Indigo chapter sort of thing, cards, books of any kind. And where do they ship from? Norwich. Okay. And free worldwide shipping. And their prices are seriously competitive. This was way cheaper than Amazon. I think I saved almost $15 getting it through Wordery instead of Amazon. So check out wordery.com if you're thinking about getting any kind of books or cards online, okay? I highly recommend them. Good vibes. The receipt that kind of came with it. Alright, so on to the deck itself. I saw this deck when I was just on my Facebook, and I'm part of a spiritual journey pit stop, a social group, and someone had asked what oracle decks would be good for empaths. And this was one of the first decks that got recommended, and pictures kind of went up with it, and I just sort of died over it. I was just very taken with the imagery. Just as a lot of circles flowing, and yeah, I'm really excited to check out this deck. Now, this deck is the Rumi Oracle deck, and the artist/author of this, so to speak, is Alana Fairchild. Now, I know Alana Fairchild has several other decks out there, but I checked out a lot of them, and there's a lot of similarities in a lot of her decks as far as the type of artwork, etc. So there's definitely some similarities between those, but there's just something about this particular deck that just really stood out to me when I was searching up her stuff specifically. I don't know how many of you out there are actually familiar with Rumi poetry. I am not. If I am familiar with it, it's because I didn't know it was Rumi. And until maybe about an hour ago, until I actually Googled Rumi, I wasn't even sure Rumi was a person. I thought maybe it was a style of poetry. I wasn't sure. I thought it was a person, but I thought I'd better check and not put my foot in my mouth as I do this video. So yeah, Rumi was a poet, I think back in the 13th century. Very, very well-known poet. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the history of Rumi. But yeah, super excited to see this, so let's crack it open and have a look at it. Now, the publisher is Blue Angel, and I've got to say, I think I only have one deck that's Blue Angel, and the quality of the box, the deck, it was kind of that moment where I was like, anytime I get a Blue Angel deck, I know I don't have to worry about the cards. They were they were in perfect condition. There was no sticking of the cards together. They were cut evenly. I like Hay House. The quality is fairly good. But every once in a while I get a Hay House deck, and I have to keep getting it over and over and over again because the cards aren't cut evenly. Some of the cards are nicked, like they actually have chunks taken out of the sides. It's a little disappointing in that regard. But Blue Angel, with the one deck that I do have, was amazing, so I'm hoping I'm going to see similar quality here. So far, the box is the exact same size. I think it's the Oracle of the Angels by Mario Duguay. Is also from the Blue Angel publisher. So let's crack it open. Lovely little color in there. Just a blank sheet of paper in there with it. Ooh, a very nice. I'm not surprised. I mean, if this is based off of Rumi poetry, I'm not surprised this has a really nice thick book. So before we get into the cards, let's actually have a look at the book. It's interesting. You don't necessarily see, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but the pages almost have that tea stain kind of color to it. They're not that stark white, and it's kind of nice. It's a little easier on the eyes. That white can just be a little bit harsh. So kind of cool to see that. It gives it a bit of an older feel. Yeah, each card has like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages roughly of information for each of them. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading because I don't know much about the Rumi. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to intuitively read on these cards. I might be able to just kind of go off of the key phrases and keywords and then from there what the image gives me, but I'm going to have to do some reading. See if there's any spreads in here. I'm sure there must be. Oh yeah. So we've got a spiral spread. Of course, almost all the imagery is based on these swirling out, these spirals. And of course the spread that's in here, and I think it might be the only spread, is a spiral spread. So I'm probably, before anything, I am going to try and use this spread with it. And then I'll see if it works with my Seed of Life spread, which in itself is a spiral spread too, so I'm kind of hoping it will work. Got a feeling it probably will. As far as the pictures in the books go, just sort of like a little thumbnail, black and white. It's very rare nowadays that you get like a page that gives you like full color or a very large version of the card. So, I mean, as long as it's got an image, I'm kind of happy, but... Alright, so I think that's all I want to look at for the book here. I think I've mentioned before many times that I love a nice big book. I just like to be able to kind of immerse myself in a deck. And if you've got this little paper thin, like 30-page book that essentially is just like a paragraph barely per card, and then barely an introduction, like, I don't know, I like a little bit more than that. So yeah, here are some of the other decks by Alana Fairchild. So there was the Journey of Love one I was looking at, and also the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle. What was the other one that's in here? Sacred Rebels, that was the other one I was looking at, Sacred Rebels. That one actually looked really cool. I may end up getting that at some point. I'm probably going to wait till after the Christmas season. But yeah, the Sacred Rebels Oracle looked really, really cool. And it just literally is like dedicated, I think, to the to you as the reader, the card reader. Yeah. Cat in the litter box. All right, so let's have a look, and here's the back of the deck here. Tilt that so you can see, so there's no reflection because it's quite glossy. So yeah, size-wise, that's the size of the box, size of the cards. I can tell already that these cards are in amazing condition, same as the Oracle of the Angels deck that I have from Mario Duguay. The artwork on the back is very, they are a little stuck together actually. Just barely, just barely. It's not even like they're snapping, they're just literally just a little bit tacked. The artwork on the back is really simple, and I kind of like that. It literally is just, it's reversible too, which is nice. Yeah, I do like simplicity sometimes. So, let me see here. Just gonna get them. There we go. Tiniest little bit stuck together. Just gonna bend them out. And anytime that I feel like a deck might be a little bit stuck together, I literally just take it and just sort of flex them back and forth a little bit. Sides. And that should kind of do it, I think. All right, so let's have a look at the cards themselves. I think, no, they're just really, really thick. Yep. All right, so very first card, Beyond Death, Life. So I guess this is maybe like sort of a rethinking of the Death card. So let's go into what the actual dynamics on the cards are. So I think all of them have this kind of beigey sort of border on them. They all have a number in this corner, and then the keywords, key phrase on the bottom right. I think I think that might be a symbol of the publisher, this whole border thing, because I feel like the Oracle of the Angels by Mary Odugue had a very, very similar, if not exact same border. So I think that's just one of theirs. All right, so let's go through the cards. So we've got Beyond Death, should I do this the first one? Passion for Purpose. Wow. These cards are really intense. Just looking at them, there's this vibe on them that's just sort of, it's got a wow factor to it, a definite wow factor. Of course, I'm big on color, so I like to see like a great big splash of color. The Dissolving Light. This sort of makes me think of another card from my Sacred Geometry deck, and it was the Purifying Fire, I think it was, or something. The idea to the card, though, was this the burning of the ego, and I kind of feel that here. I sort of feel like the ego just dissolving away under the light of the true nature of the being. Okay, so there's definitely, I mean, again, given that I have no understanding of the Rumi poetry, given that it was done in the 1300s, or sorry, 1200s, 13th century, not necessarily going to be surprised if there is some Catholic Christian influence here. The Cloak of Christ. And I don't think I'm going to show you all of them. I might just hand pick a few of them, because as someone I know online is so fond of saying, who doesn't like surprises with their deck? It'd just be a shame if I gave it all away. Oh, this is really cool. It's just called One. I feel like that's like an everything is connected card. Everything is within, within, within. And I'm hoping that I'm tilting these at an angle that you can see them, because these cards are mega glossy. They're good. They're a good size, though. I won't have necessarily a hard time shuffling these. Someone with really small hands might. They're not a very slender deck. They're a good size, and I believe there are 44 of them. I can actually tell you right now. This is the bottom card here. Yep, there's 44 cards. So interesting, because the 44 is a typical number of like the angel decks, and I don't necessarily see this as an angel deck. So as I say that, Blood Angel. So maybe there is quite an angel affiliation with this deck. So I'm gonna try and hold these at different angles, just so that you guys can hopefully catch a glimpse. Oh God, yeah, like these cards are just incredible. The Cosmic Heart. Like, wow. The impossible made possible. And then it's got like kind of a cosmos sort of vibe to it. Space, universe, galaxy. I really dig that imagery. There's something just very expansive and mind expanding about it. Consciousness expanding, mind expanding. Sorry, I'm just going to go through and handpick a few. So they're not all swirly. I wasn't sure about that, if they would have that very, if it was going to be themed with circles and swirls. This one's got a lot of lines, and it's called The Divine Discontent. It's much more linear. I'm always, ever since I read with my sacred geometry deck, it programmed me sort of to always look for shapes in all the images, whether it was very circular, swirly, a lot of curves, or if it was linear, boxy, and that sort of gave in corners. It just that right there was the difference between something that was a little bit more masculine versus a little bit more feminine. One of the cards that was on the back. This is the Divine Mother Manifests. This obviously has a very strong protection / creative energy about it. She almost looks like a mother. It's a little high, but she looks like she could be cradling her unborn child there, right? So, even though it's just a little bundle of light. Yeah, gorgeous card. And I like the expression on some of these cards, like the impossible made possible I showed you, and this one's called From Nothing to Everything. Let's see here. Pass a few off here. Ooh. Sacred Union. Oh, this feels like a love partnership card. Like a soul connection, twin flame sort of thing. I really dig the imagery on that. I'm going to have to try to just read with these at some point. I think I might do a little reading for myself when I turn the camera off and see if I can intuitively read these. And if I can, I may give a go at reading them for this week's weekly reading. We'll see. No promises. But yeah, Sacred Union. The Lion and the Deer. Some of these give off very old world artistry, very, I don't know if Renaissance is the word I'm necessarily looking for, but certainly of the era of like Van Gogh kind of work. Some of them kind of have a very watercolor sort of feel to them. Interesting. The right choice. There's a sense of irony to this phrase for me, just because I don't necessarily believe in the right choice, right? So I'll be curious to read what this card is meant to be about. I find it, like, for me, like, as I look at this card, and I see the right choice. I see a person or an angel, but someone in the middle who has all these different lines kind of pouring out of them. And I see those as all the different choices, all the different paths, all the different universes you could slip into of the multiverse, and the different realities you can create for yourself with every single choice that you make. And at any given moment, you can follow any of those lines and go somewhere else. Is there a right choice? No, it's just there is choice. We get hung up, though, on making the right choice. The funny thing, though, is that this is coming very much out of like stomach, heart center on this person and not their head. So it's kind of like, get out of your head. There is no right or wrong choice. Follow your heart, go with your gut feeling sort of thing, right? Be interesting to see what that card really is about, though. And we're almost through here, actually. Ooh. She offers the sacred wine, so drink. I mean, the colors alone are striking, but like the shapes that I see in this card, yeah, there's a lot of layering happening in these images. Actually, this is a really cool one. You who show the way. It's sort of shows like I'm not sure if that's, looks like it's the sea, a very, very, very turbulent sea. It could be mountains, but to me, I see a very, very turbulent sea where they're showing the way through sort of a very chaotic moment for a ship coming home. There is no boat there, but I do believe that that's meant to be water. But yeah, very, very, very cool. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. I'm really eager and curious to just pour over the book a little bit and do some reading, because I'd like to know the roots of these phrases and what, if all of them are from different poems, or if they're all just excerpts from similar, like if some of them are excerpts from the same poems. Courage of your love. The blessing of Zara. I don't know how anyone could be looking at these images and not be completely breathtaking with them. They are utterly incredible. Sorry, I hope you guys are getting some of these images. I hope I'm not just literally showing reflection and daylight. Dance of the Divine Feminine. Now, it's interesting that, Rumi was a man, from what I read, but this deck, and it's probably Alana Fairchild's take and feel that I'm getting here. But this is very, very, this whole deck is just divine feminine all over it. I didn't see a lot of the divine masculine in here. Which, I like to see a good balance. Unfortunately, I think that's one of my only things that are sort of like setting me off a little bit about the deck, is that I'm not seeing a balance of the sacred feminine and masculine. It's very much just divine feminine that I'm getting here. And then the last card, the Merciful Mother Jamal. And yeah, there were no father images. It was all the mothers, the Divine Mother. Yeah. Very much a divine feminine oracle deck. Which, not to say that you can't get a balanced reading out of this, but I may again, it's just because I like balance. Hard to say what I will feel with this deck in terms of how it will read with me. I'm actually, while I've got you guys with me, I always like to smudge a new deck. Right out here, fan the cards out, give them a good smudge. Right, smudge the box, because I like to keep these cards in their boxes, as long as the box is, you know, not huge and can act as a good holder for the cards. Now, smudge the booklet while we're at it here. Awesome. All right. So why don't we just do a one card read right now? Just have a look. I'm not going to shuffle them because, screw it, I'm going to shuffle them. I wasn't going to shuffle them because I like to go through the deck card by card and read about them, but I can always just put the deck back together. So let's just have a one card read. Just tell us a little something special. The Cosmic Heart. So that was this one. That was actually one of the cards I showed you. You know what? This might be a good opportunity to just kind of do a quick skim, because as far as what my read on this card is, the Cosmic Heart, I guess you could almost look at this as the all universal consciousness, the center of that consciousness, the love, the heart of that consciousness that we're all connected to, that we're all a part of. Have a look, see what it says. Card number 8. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's fairly long-winded. Alright, so I'm just going to read the first part. So it's got an actual excerpt from the poem, and that is, or it might be the full thing. I was dead, I became alive. I was tears, I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I have seen everything. I have no fear. I have the heart of a lion. I shine like Venus. I think this is just about, from what I'm gathering here, it's just sort of a pushing through fear. And looking back at the trials we've been through and how strong they've made us, and that we're still here. And yet here you are, still loving and still wise, and ready for a love bigger than you have ever experienced. It will be interesting to go through and read these. I'm looking forward to that. So, I think that's all. As far as the actual physical deck, again, there is no border on these either. I think that's just another thing from the Blue Angel Publishing. They don't really do those glossy borders. I find those more problematic than anything. But as far as the overall quality of the cards go, everything looks good. I'm not seeing any tears. They're all cut nice and even as far as I can tell. Yep, solid quality. So, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of the Rumi Oracle by Alana Fairchild. If you did, please go ahead and like the video, and if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, everybody, love and light to you all. Bye for now.